Hello everyone. It's Tessera here. I recorded this last year, sometime ago with my friend No1, and it was on Patreon for a while. But here I am, shunting it into the material plane for you all to see and enjoy a 47 and a half minute conversation between me and him just talking about D&D. Yeah. Use it wherever you want. Background music, noise, background noise.
Got it.
All right. It's so hard to actually collab with people a lot because I feel like some people, when I message them, they're just like, "Yeah, I'd love to," and they don't respond after that.
See, I do it. You just got to remind me that I agree to
Yeah,
do it.
I told you. Yeah, okay, all right. Uh, yeah, this
As I was sitting
is.
on my couch with my pug today, when you messaged me, it's like, "You ready?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, it is Saturday, isn't it?"
Yeah, yeah.
Then I
I
realized all my
seriously,
recording setup was at a different house entirely.
I was freaking out because I woke up this morning and I was like, "Oh my god, it's Sunday. Yesterday was Friday, so today is Sunday, and I need to go places." I was just like, "Wait a second, processing, and here we are." So yeah, people don't know you, so would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Bob Filbert.
Bob, what do you
Uh,
do?
I am a janitor. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this terrible joke. I'm slipping. It's noon, but it's too early.
Hello,
Well, it's
Bob.
like
Welcome to Alcohol Anonymous.
it's 2 o'clock. I'm no one. Uh, I collabed a lot with Tessera when they had their other channel going. Oh wait, this is for Hikura, right?
This is
Or
for
is this
Sarah.
this is for
I
Tessera?
Hakura has been is down bad. Hakura's gone.
Okay,
I have rebranded and made a new account, and all my other stuff is gone. Well, it's privated, so no
fair
more of that
enough.
stuff.
Yeah, no, I did a lot of YouTube creation and streaming for a bit, and I've kind of just given up on that for a while. Life has gotten in the way, and that stuff's hard. So I'm just sitting here. I have all the setup I bought and stuff, but I don't do much with it lately. And I play D&D with you.
Yes, that's what we're going to talk about because D&D is fun. The limits of imagination are endless, and we were just talking earlier about one of our favorite boys, which we will continue to talk about,
Good
Churchill.
old Churchill.
It When people think Churchill, they just think, "Oh, this is some old British man."
Yeah, no, I honestly, the name was a placeholder, and I just
Oh,
never thought of another name.
just like people like put blank at their character name, and then they realize, "Oh wait, I've just been calling my character blank that it's stuck."
I was on a third party D&D app in like 2016, and I made a white dragonborn because that's cool. Breath weapon. What's the name? Churchill. Paladin. Church is involved. Churchill's a name. Boom.
I go into a deeper thought when it comes into my character names. I like to
I
go
do
through
now.
different older languages, uh, like Latin and Chinese and Mandarin, and I like to look through meanings. I go too much thought into mine.
I make things up that sound right. Although
I
I say that, yeah, I'm currently playing a character named James. So
yeah, that also reminds me of just like my paladin, because I didn't go with a fancy name. I just went for something that sounded nice with a random generator. I started clicking and I
mhm,
saw Shavir. I was like, it's pretty good.
that is pretty good.
Yeah. And so I was like, Shane's a surname, so I was like, I stole straight from Star Wars, Shavir Pelagius. But anyway, uh, enough about my paladin. Let's talk about your warrior.
All right, so Churchill, um, which originally no last name in the original version. Now I'm playing a version of him called Churchill von Rogel. But Churchill was my first ever D&D character that I created back in like freshman year of high school in like 2016. I technically had played before, but it was the starter set. I was just playing the generic Elven Wizard that comes with that, so I don't really count it.
Yeah.
But so we get our third party bootleg stuff. None of us know how to play the game. We're interpreting all the rules horribly, horribly wrong.
Yes, I know that feeling.
My stats, I looked back at them the other day because I was able to recover an old version of it. Oh man, his stat spread was a catastrophe. He had 9 charisma, and he's a paladin.
What was the joke? It was charisma are for larpers and losers.
I don't even know.
Uh,
But so yeah, no, I was playing. This was before I even started DMing. It was a bunch of nerds from our high school. We would meet every Wednesday at a church across the street for a youth group, and we would walk over after school and just kind of have the run of the place for hours until the sermon started. And we were the nerds that played D&D in the upstairs because the youth pastor was super super chill, great guy.
oh yeah, we've had yeah.
Not satanic panic kind of guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we played a starter set, and then the DM decided to run something new, and I made Churchill. At this point, I honestly can't remember the other characters in the party anymore
I mean, I could
because it's
probably
been
go
so
through and
long.
name the people in mind because I started playing D&D in middle school in 7th grade. Uh, because originally my brother and me were getting into game creation. We were building our own games. We built card games out of cut pieces of cardboard, put them on top of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and put them in sleeves to make a card game. And our dad thought we were idiots, and no, he would laugh at us. He's like, "These are all stupid." And I was like, "Thanks, Dad. You're great." Uh, eventually, uh, we built this game based off coin flips, and it was basically Dungeons and Dragons. And my mom's like, "That's
Yeah.
really cool. You can play that, but don't play Dungeons and Dragons. That's the devil's game."
Yep.
And so, my brother and me playing Yu-Gi-Oh, and he gets a friend in his grade, and I get a friend who's a grade lower than me. They're brothers, so it's like, cool. We're brothers. They're brothers, and they're like, "You guys are playing Yu-Gi-Oh? That's lame." I'm like, "Well, you guys are playing Magic, so it's not really much different." And they got
No,
us
it's
into
better.
playing.
It's
Yeah, they
better.
got us. I much agree, because power scaling. Anyway, but they got us into playing Magic. They gave us a Magic deck. My Magic. They gave me a green Magic deck, and I was like, "I'm a green player." And then I put my deck in my locker, and then someone stole my deck. And I was like, "That sucks." And then I made a blue deck with them, and then I was undefeated, and they were jealous of me.
How'd we get
And
on Magic? We're rabbit trailing here.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But after that, we were playing it, and we're like, "Fantasy is great." And they're just like, "It's some great fantasy. How'd you come over to our place?" And they show us some games that we've never heard of, like Demon Souls and Soul Calibur. We're like, these are
I
pretty
want to play
good.
Demon Souls. I
Yeah.
want a PS5, but I am not paying for one.
Oh yeah. Um, and they're like, "That's pretty good, good." And I saw their dad looking at some books, and I was like, "What are those?" I'm like, "That's Dungeons and Dragons." And I'm like, "I'm very interested." And so they're like, "Yeah, we'll play some Dungeons and Dragons," because I know about Dungeons and Dragons because my mom was saying no because we were homeless for a bit, which doesn't really matter too much. But we were staying with another Mormon family, and their oldest son was trying to play Dungeons and Dragons. He's like, "Hey, your kids can play with us," but my mom's like, "You have to ask their stepfather," and I was like, "He's not in control of me, but whatever." And he said no.
Hmm.
It's I had a piece of paper with I was like, "I have an idea what I want to play. I'm gonna play this Yu-Gi-Oh card. I'm gonna be this person in this Yu-Gi-Oh card." And so with that, uh, I was just like, "Yeah." And so my first character was wanting to be a Raptoran. I was like, "Cool, Races of the Wild, this D&D book, which is like $90 now." I was like, "I want this book. Give me this. I want to play this." But then uh, these two brothers, they looked at me and said, "No, that's too complicated." I'm like, "But can I not play a Raptoran cleric?" They said, "Yes, you can, but first you have to learn how to play first. So you have to play a human fighter."
Oh, jeez.
And so I played the most edgy human fighter, and I named him Kai. So I'm kind of jealous that you actually got like your first character that you built and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's Churchill, and I had to play
I'd
with
put some
Kai, the human fighter.
heavy air quotes around built. Churchill was a catastrophe. Let me
Yeah,
see if I have it on my phone still.
I was doing pen and paper 3.5 because we lived in a place where the
No, I don't
library,
have it anymore,
yeah,
sadly.
the library that we were next to, they allowed you to print off 80 pages for free every week.
That's really nice.
It's a rich neighborhood. So my brother and me were just
My
like,
college lets me get 200 pages a semester.
yeah. And my brother and me looked at each other. He's like, what if we print off 40 character sheets?
Oh, jeez.
And
But
so we
yeah,
did.
no, yeah, Churchill. The one of the funniest things is the very first, you meet in a tavern with Churchill is he stood up to some town guard who were abusing their power and immediately got crit and knocked out. Session one, turn one.
Oh, yeah, that's how it
Luckily,
is.
it was just a bar fight, so they didn't coup de grace him or finish him off. They just left, knocked him on his ass and left.
That, she's like, I'll kick your ass, and just instantly knocked down. Just like, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that's. Level 1 play is the greatest.
Oh, it is truly.
Yeah, but you brought in Churchill to my game at a very cross-roaded point we were going through.
Oh, I actually wrote a thing and put it on Reddit. It didn't do any numbers, but
It,
yeah, the
it's
perspective
doing
of
numbers.
so obviously, this was long ago, my first ever character. We technically only made it to level 4, but our gameplay with our balance looked more like level 8 or 9, maybe closer to 10.
Yeah.
Like the adventure had matured, but our levels hadn't, mostly because we didn't have all the materials to level them up properly. But so I decided I wanted to play Churchill again. So I rebuilt him. My storyline is Churchill has become kind of more of a celestial lesser god and just reincarnates once in a while, goes on a grand adventure, and then when he dies, his spirit rejoins with
It
the
sounds
greater
like
Churchill.
the
And so that's where I
Einhjar.
created Churchill
Yeah.
von Rogel, which I just grabbed a random last name that sounded cool.
Yeah, it sounds like
Actually,
you're
it's a
going.
reference to Warhammer if you ever do that.
Yeah, Warhammer. But yeah,
Rule Dorn.
that last
So
name
yeah, no,
sounds German in some points. It's like you go for like a British kind of first name, then you go for a German last name. This like chivalrous paladin, which
yeah,
kind of makes
completely
sense.
unintentional. Totally unintentional there. You're giving me more credit than I deserve. My name was just thought
Uh,
up on the fly. But yeah, no. And then I decided, well, what's he after? Well, if he's a reincarnation whose only goal is to go on an adventure,
Glory.
glory, Oath of Glory Paladin, boom, right there. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna play into that. His oath is for glory, so everything he does is going to be turned up to 11, and he is in pursuit
Yeah.
of glory. And I decided to give him no self-preservation skills whatsoever.
Yeah. Because
It's a miracle this character is not dead yet.
yeah, I remember it's like we started off and because I was building my own Dread domain, which it's done, but you guys made fun of the name all the time, so I have to change the name apparently. Uh,
Lucky
and
you, I
so
don't remember.
yeah, I know. Uh, that's one of the best things about having players that don't remember things. I can just change the name so they don't worry about it. It's gonna suck when I start live streaming anything because the people will be like, "You changed the name." It's like, yes, you're right. Shit.
There's a reference to that in the new Critical Role show. They released season 7, and one of the ancient heroes' names was Pervon.
Yeah,
And at the D&D table, they all joked to gain your perv on,
yeah,
and they actually put that in the show.
yeah.
Also, highly recommend Legends of Vox Machina.
Oh yeah, because I
So
was.
good.
Is the exact same thing happened to me when a group of my players that I used to go LARPing with they were going to this place called Dolorous Hold, which is a play on some of the words from King Arthur's Legends. Anyway, and they're like Dolorous Hold sounds like dollar store, and they would not stop calling it the dollar store. So I killed a few characters.
That's great.
But yeah, so it was Churchill, and I just imagined him just teleporting into this place, falling in sand, just being unconscious, and then was like describing like sand's going through your armor as you're being pulled through is like a sea, coming into your senses, into your scales, and you're just like you open your eyes and you just see three insect-like humanoids pulling your body as if you were dead. Which is like the that's like the main quote from him because the best one is like "Not dead, not
Not
dead."
dead, not dead, not dead.
Yeah, it was just great. That one was great because you were just confused where you were. I'm like, well, this is like a realm between realms, so obviously it's perfect for people to end up at this strange place.
Yeah, I envisioned it a lot like the place in Thor Ragnarok.
Yes, but it was just a sandy desert that was
Mm-hmm.
nearly endless, and I
I was
remember.
wearing full plate in a really hot desert.
Oh yeah, you had Constitution saving throws. I think you had like 3 or 4,
Yeah,
but you were like perfectly capable of succeeding those.
yeah.
But I remember because I started using NPC that was based on Technoblade, and his name at the time was Tamond.
I remember Tamon.
Tamond was great. Uh, People started calling him Tampon, which was not fun.
Yeah, I was part of
Yeah.
that.
So I changed his name. I took the name of the actual Protesilaeus, and I was like, "Yep, we're gonna call him Protesilaeus. It's simple." I love someone
I
trying to make
got
fun
it.
of that.
Prostate.
God damn it. I hate my life. But Churchill eventually met up with this Protesilaeus and Rakana and Avi's characters, more people, and a whole bunch of people. You are all just like, okay, let's get out of here. And you guys tried
Yeah,
to
we're
leave.
stuck in this shitty situation. We're the most
But
capable people around. Let's
yeah,
do it.
Protesilaeus could not leave because he was cursed here. He was banished here and put on just a long line of just waiting. And it's like, okay, we need him though because he is literally a CR-13 warrior, so we need him back to help us.
Mm-hmm.
And they looked at you like, you need to help us. And
Chuckles kind of shrugs. All right.
it's like, is there
looks
glory
looks
in
right.
this?
I yeah. He is. He was just. Hey, these people look competent.
Yeah. Traveling through the desert, you guys went to fight a Allosaurus, I believe.
It was something big.
It was a dinosaur I brought in. I brought in 2 dinosaurs that you guys went and fought that came in just like slamming into you. You guys also saw a whole bunch of Thrycreen moving about the desert. But that was not the main point. You were waiting because this entire domain had a strange bit where every 23 hours it was 23 hours a day and 1 hour of night.
Mm-hmm.
But you did not want to be outside of any city in that 1 hour of night because of the eldritch horrors that were there. And you guys went to a small town, and they're like, yo, you have to go out there, and there are some things out there. We don't know. You guys head out, and
I remember
then,
pawning my plate because I was sick of making Constitution saves, so I pawned
yes,
my plate to get different
it
armor.
was adamantine plate, so it was pretty expensive.
Yeah, so I traded it temporarily for
A set
like a
of,
like liquid
yeah,
bronze armor.
the liquid bronze armor from Theros.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you were a white dragonborn who was bronze scaled,
Yep.
which was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And that stuff also didn't give you disadvantage on anything because no disadvantage on stealth. That's great.
Yeah, moved with you.
Yeah. Uh, you guys went out to a desert spot with ruins and waited for night to fall, which it did. And it was like a bloody moon above you guys. And I summoned a whole bunch of demons for you guys to fight.
I remember.
There was this pig-faced demon with bat wings that were the pig face and the bat wings were more rectangular. Like it wasn't finished in like sculpting in a 3D artist kind of way. And you guys are like, what the fuck? But that thing was only like CR6, so a group of a few of you guys just were able to take care of it pretty easily.
Yeah, and I feel like we should also mention Churchill's signature weapon.
Oh yes, the
is a
obsidian.
flame tongue greatsword.
Yeah, yeah.
It is a obsidian greatsword. Catches on fire. It was given to him by the DM originally, and I loved it so much. Just the image of the white dragonborn with this jagged obsidian blade on fire. So
Oh yeah,
Desero was kind enough to let me bring that in as his starting weapon.
yeah. Because I
The flame tongue greatsword is really solid, adding damage dice, but it's not broken.
no, it's not. When you bring in stuff for characters, you don't need to take anything away from them. A lot of dungeon masters like, I gave them this item and now it's totally unbalanced my game. It's like, cool, you're the dungeon master, balance it back. You don't need to take anything away from your players. Uh, but yeah, uh, I was like, it's perfectly fine for you to have that because you're literally just coming in. They have a whole bunch of different magical items. What's wrong with you just having this deal more damage? And one of my rules is that obsidian weapons do an additional 1d4 physical damage because they're sharper.
Ah, yeah. And then the obsidian was just purely aesthetic when we
Yes.
originally designed it in my other game.
Yeah. I have a whole bunch of rules for crafting stuff. Anyway, but yeah, you were going into the temple with Rakana's character, Zaya. And she had two characters at the time. She had Zaya and Eris. Eris was a ranger, and Zaya was a
Hmm.
tiefling. Uh, but you go in with Princess Lace and whatnot, and this was like the most hilarious thing because I put a trap in. I do not put traps in my games often, but I put a trap in. And it was
Hmm.
the simplest trap that I laughed at you guys for not looking through because I was like, there are two statues on either side of this hallway. And one of you stepped through first, and it instantly attacked. They both attacked, swiping at you guys towards your heads. And you guys, you're like, okay, I guess we gotta just try to get past it. And you guys get past it, but it hit you all, and you were like,
Hmm.
damn, there's no way to get past that. That's dumb. And I look at you. I was like looking at you as I was like, oh my god, you guys. So I just said this. Protesilaus ducks down and walks across underneath the blades as they swing out.
Yep.
And
Hey, Churchill has 8 intelligence. That's one bad stat that stayed.
yeah, because it wasn't a magical trap, it was just a trap. I just thought it was kind of funny because there are a lot of traps that are like that. The animated statue swings its sword towards you. It's
Hmm.
like, no, they're just gonna swing their sword once in a specific direction.
Yep.
So you guys are just gonna keep hitting that. I remember you guys found some treasure past that, and then you went deeper and deeper until you guys found what I remember describing. Yeah, I took this image from a picture I saw when I was in high school of just like liquid, this glowing liquid surrounding this platform which you guys climbed on a ladder, which
Hmm.
also reminds me a bit of Dark Souls 2, uh, the Frozen Kingdom DLC. Anyway, Ilium Lois, like just entire platform, and there were steps going up with people in like a praying formation up to this chained deity, uh, who had a spear through his chest. And I was like, oh, this is gonna be great. They're gonna do this. They're gonna go over and see. It's like, oh yeah, you can't really take that out. And there's a crown on him that has him stuck here. The DC is 25. I don't like to make things impossible for my players. So I'm like, DC is 25. They have to go back, grab some stuff, come back, then take it off.
Nope.
Yeah.
Churchill walked up
No,
to
no, no,
that
not yet,
guy.
not yet, not yet though. I had something pop out of the fire ahead of it. A young flame dragon from the Tome
Hmm.
of Beasts.
Oh, the way we took that down was so.
You didn't even take it down. You fought it, and it was a struggle. Before this, you guys found that treasure, and I randomly rolled
Yep.
for that treasure, and there was an elixir of love.
Yep. We love Potion to Dragon.
We loved Potion the Dragon, and it fell in love with Rakana's character. And I was just like, oh, all right then.
Wasn't it like
Which,
actively trying to eat her and she just threw the potion in?
yeah, she jumped into its mouth, and it was diving into the lava, so she was getting all burnt up and stuff. But eventually it was like, okay, I'll stop attacking you guys. And that was just hilarious. Because I was like, that
Yep.
I rolled randomly. I was like, well, that works. This is a great story.
The last ditch effort.
Yeah, which the dragon's like, you guys can take the whatever's going on here. Which then we got to the Churchill part.
Yep. Uh, you see the crown imprisoning him. There's like burning crown. Very obviously of you're gonna need to find a way to deal with this, and it's dangerous, and you shouldn't. But it's
Yeah,
Churchill. Quest for glory, low intelligence. He will not back down from anything to his own detriment. That's his main
he,
flaw.
he had a plus
Walks
five
up,
to his wisdom saving
grabs
throw,
that
right?
crown.
Yeah, he had a plus five, so he needed an absolute crit to actually get it. That absolute crit with that wisdom saving throw was needed to actually do that.
Yep.
And so we're like, well, let's see what happens. And like, we roll, and it's like natural 20. And we're like, holy shit. And I was like, holy shit, the gods have chosen him for this help.
And so, in honor of that crit, I had him put the crown on.
Yep.
Just
Which I thought it was amazing. I was just like, holy shit, this is a deity that's chained up in this dread domain. This is helping him. This chosen helped him. And I was like, fuck it, we're going to give him bonuses. So I went over to hit your greatsword. I gave it a fucking more abilities for fire and stuff. And I'm like, when you turn on the fucking flames, the flame crown appears in your head.
Yep, and now we have called it Fate Blade, and he
Fate
still
Blade.
wields that.
Yes, it's a great weapon. It's cool because it's like you have resistant to frost damage from being a white dragonborn, but now you get resistant to fire damage as well.
Mm-hmm.
And
Although interestingly enough, on his character sheet in D&D Beyond, the resistance to cold doesn't show up. It's glitched out.
well, it's probably because it's a legacy race now.
Yeah, true.
So who knows?
Anyway, that's off topic.
Yeah. And this, remember, Rakana had Eris pull out the fucking spear. And I was like, you guys gonna get this spear, and you guys gonna have to use the spear later. But then, no, you took off the crown. He's like, can I have my spear back? And you're like, okay, here's the spear.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we met Mary Sue.
Oh, a while ago, I had Hikura. It's a long story. The first few gods on my world were Elfin, who was not really a god. He was a seraph. He was a solar who got sick of the gods and decided, fuck it, I'm gonna become my own god. And he took the place of the god of death. But before that, he had a child who was a planetar. And that one is just like, I don't think that's good. I think these humans are being fucking dumb and we should slaughter them all. And he became a demon. And then, before that happened, he had a child who was an Azamar, and that Azamar was Hikura. And Hikura went out of his way, adventured a while, to get himself up to god level. He was just a god of forging. So he was a lesser god, which allowed him to be eventually trapped, because lesser deity power is pretty easy to take control of, to use for your own ends and stuff, like deities and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you guys helped him out, which was pretty cool, because he was like, okay, I should be able to help you guys leave now. I know a few things about this place, which was pretty cool, because you're just like, oh, now we have a way to leave this place.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Which
But
got
not
us
until we got and grabbed 4 bear asses for him. I'd be witty. That being said, Tessera is an amazing DM. I'm just giving them crap.
Yeah. With that, Avi brought in his character, which brought in some conflict with your character.
Yep.
He had Nara, the necromancer.
Yeah.
I don't remember if after that you guys brought the deity out, and you meet Nara then, or did you meet Nara after Nara did their little demon fight? I don't remember. Did you fight the demon with them?
I don't recall. I don't think so. I know we met
Yeah.
them at the inn. I think it was after they did their thing. We all met up at the inn and all wanted out.
So yeah,
But
there was
Churchill did
this.
not like
Yeah,
Nara.
yeah. Nara using the undead and whatnot, and
She was just evil. Like she's
yeah,
you have a
neutral evil,
lawful evil, a neutral evil character and a lawful evil paladin aren't going to get along.
not for good. But yeah, it was not the best circumstances because you guys were finding out where to go. You were doing some bit of researching and stuff. There was a sending stone that you guys found in the treasure as well, which you guys tried communing with it, and the sending stone person who had it was just like, "I will kill all of you and devour your souls." And
Oh yeah,
just, you guys are like, "All right, let's leave that alone. Let's go bury it."
yep.
Because Nara's like, "We're burying this. We're not going to touch it. No one's touching it. Leave it alone." So, because of that, I believe Protesilaus went and unburied it and grabbed it. Because why the hell would you get rid of that?
Because we were being smart.
And he was not. Uh,
I remember eventually we had to fight a dragon.
yes.
That's
You guys needed to go across the oasis at the town. The only oasis in the entire desert area. Which you took a boat across. Coming to a small caved entrance. Where they're like, yo, the Lord inside there is very dangerous. And everyone's like, Lord, 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 talking about it. You guys are like, why is a Lord in a cave? And then you figured it out. So from older editions of D&D, there was such thing as a cobra dragon. It looked like a king cobra had on a dragon. It was basically equivalent to that of a red dragon.
it was very cool.
Yes. It was an
And
adult.
Churchill was very ready to kill it because
Yeah.
what's more glorious than slaying a dragon? Like really?
It was either an ancient or an adult, but it was intense. It was an intense battle.
It was awesome.
Uh, there was a Yuan-Ti Malison that was nearby as well. Hakura was around, and he was buffing you guys as you were fighting, and the people that tried to leave, the Yuan-Ti Malison came out of nowhere and tried to kill you guys.
Yeah. Churchill
He's,
stayed to fight though, didn't he?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because Churchill wouldn't leave. He was going to fight that dragon and die trying.
You guys were dropping down,
I
getting
remember
back up,
that
dropping
Malazan
down.
being horrible. Like that thing nearly killed us.
Yeah, because you were on both sides, so either the dragon's gonna. I remember the dragon instantly started up with a breath weapon.
Yeah. And Churchill, like this is my first time properly playing a paladin, and oh man, paladin smites feel so good.
Yeah.
I know I landed at least one crit smite that did obscene damage.
Oh, it was a really long fight. It was like 10 or 12 rounds.
Yeah, it was down to the ropes. I think
It
Churchill
was.
went down, but didn't he crit save and get up, if I'm
Yeah,
remembering
yeah.
correctly?
Uh, yeah. And luckily, Rakana, Goth Peasant, had some abilities with some of her characters to instantly get up a few times, like 2 or 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a long event, which eventually ended up with the dragon dying. Which there were two things that could have happened. You guys could have talked to the dragon and somehow gotten past it being like, I'm going to kill you all. Which
Where's
was
the fun in
unlikely.
that?
Yeah. And the other likelihood was killing it and... see, the deity, though he was a deity, he was low on power. So he needed a jump start.
Yeah, he was effectively just a really powerful cleric or paladin.
Yeah. I gave him the stats of a max level forge cleric.
Ah, yeah.
Except no divine intervention.
Mm-hmm. That's what kept us alive was his heals.
Yes. And so what was going on? he took the dragon's heart to use it as a jumpstart for his own power. Not before you guys took some of the treasure that was there.
Oh yeah, Churchill was filling his pockets.
I think it was around 24,000 gold pieces worth,
Mm-hmm. Hey,
which is
gold and
like
glory go hand in hand.
that's like $2.4 million.
Yep.
So yeah, to put in context, there was a luck blade in there,
Yeah, I
which
think we let Zaya take that.
yeah, and Zaya still hasn't used it. A luck blade, people, is that of a blade that can just cast a wish spell.
My children's D&D group that I run, they ran and rolled one of those on a loot table once.
But yeah, and then it was all the stuff of the slow of the characters slowly hating each other came to a head when you guys came back to the world of the living, the material
Oh yeah,
plane.
Churchill really wanted to kill that evil wizard.
Yeah, she was. It started off with Abby because Abby and me have been talking for a while about his character doing other stuff,
Oh boy.
and Abby had a character who was trying to achieve lichdom.
It's all coming back.
Yeah, and he was trying to take some stuff, and a fight broke out.
Mm-hmm.
And so Churchill's just like, I have
Yeah,
to
so
stop
from
Nara.
Churchill's perspective, I have met some people. Then we met
Yeah,
group. So I met Group A. I like Group A. We meet Group B. Group B are assholes. We're now back in Group A's house. Group B has reassembled with their big evil wizard daddy, who makes the wizard that I hate look pathetically weak. So I'm sitting here in the middle of this ongoing conflict that has been building up for a very long time with no history. But in Churchill's mind, perfect. I can finally kill this stupid necromancer.
yeah. The fight breaks out, and
I did kill her.
instantly, yeah, you like you drop her in like 2 hits.
Yeah, no,
It's a wizard.
Churchill saw the combat coming and struck first.
Yeah. Uh, Unfortunately, Eldon was not able to kill you because you fucking bolted out of there as soon as
He did
backup
maze.
came in.
That was scary.
Yeah, backup came in because Eldon had some previous history with another character, and this other character uh, was able to get her hands on an artifact called the Ring of Winter.
Mm-hmm.
And so they came into contact because she's been tracking him for a while. And that ended up with Eldon breaking a staff of power over his knee.
I'm glad I was in the maze at that point.
Yeah, he just
So
mazed
I
you.
finally get out of the maze
Because of the
like
staff of power break, and you're just like, what's
yeah,
going on? Why is there explosion marks everywhere?
Churchill not knowing what's going on anymore, backed away slowly.
Yeah, I believe Zaya.
He's not one to back down
Yeah.
from a fight, but he's not going to get involved now that he doesn't know what side is worth fighting for. He doesn't want to make a mistake.
Yep, Zaya and him sprint off.
Yeah, followed his only friend.
Yep. Which is great because we can leave that alone. And that would bring you guys all the way to helping a small town.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Churchill racked up 2 more dragon kills after that. He's now at 3 dragon kills.
It was a young shadow dragon, a young black shadow dragon, and a adult white dragon.
Yeah, the adult white dragon, that was a very cool fight. That one's skull is currently hanging on his keep.
Yeah.
And the shadow dragon, did that one have a skull or did that one kind of melt in the shadow?
It melted into shadow because it died.
Yeah, he was sad. He wanted the skull.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, between those dragon kills, they got filthy rich.
Oh, yeah. A lot
We
of stuff.
looted those hordes for everything they was worth, and Churchill wound up building a full-on keep.
Yeah, I remember because you were building that before you fought the white dragon.
Yeah, because the second you told me that you allowed for the Strongholds and Followers book, I was so stoked, and it's so in Churchill's wheelhouse
Yep.
to build a band of adventurers out for glory and coin, and
Strongholds and Followers is a third-party D&D book, which, my opinion on this whole OGL stuff is support third-party creators. Wizards of the Coast in the wrong. We don't need to get stuck on that right now. We already talked about it before this. Anyway, Strongholds and Followers is by MCDM, Matt
oh, it's
Colville.
so good.
It's a really good book, and I highly suggest if you play Dungeons & Dragons, look at the MCDM website and pick it up. There's also Kingdoms and Warfare, which we will probably go mess around with that after we're done talking about this. Anyway, so they're building a keep, and I'm rolling on some random tables. Some people come to help him out building this place because this white dragon paladin. So most people are like, he's a dragon, and he killed other dragons for us. And he calls himself a paladin. We could get protection near him. And so right now I consider Churchill as Lord Churchill, because he's a lord of his own keep.
Mm-hmm.
Which is really cool, because with that, you also got a follower who is a dwarf forge cleric.
Yeah, Arlen Honeybeard.
And like 150 cavalier men.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the first soldiers who joined up with the keep were cavalry.
Yep. Which is impressive.
But to go with that as well, you also got a Sword of Dragon Slaying because of your Forge Cleric.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you went to fight the Ice Dragon was working with... the only reason you went to kill that Ice Dragon was because you fought some Abishai.
Oh yeah, the demonic servants of Tiamat.
Yes. And you were just like, none of this. I need to go to the heart of this and kill it all.
Yeah, and Churchill's especially feels motivated to do anything against Tiamat because he's a white dragonborn. So he has to carry that burden of stereotype because white dragons are the evil chromatic dragons.
Well, right now you look like a bronze dragon, so...
actually, you forgot to mention this, but he did commission a new set of armor.
Yeah, that was after this Ice Dragon, though.
Oh, yeah. But, so, he wants to... He has a personal hatred for Tiamat.
Yeah.
And, while he, isn't a paladin of Bahamut, he does respect and worship to an extent Bahamut.
Yeah, there is a... I was talking about... I'll talk to you more about Asgarath after this, but there's complicated stuff with the dragon stuff. Anyway, yeah, and you guys went to follow these Abishai tracks to some kobolds, and you thought the kobolds were going to be nice after you slayed most of them, and they're like, yeah, we're afraid of you. No, they were not afraid of you. They brought you into more traps.
Yeah, we tried to intimidate them. We failed.
Yeah, you fought more kobolds and more white Abishai. Eventually, the white dragon's like, yo, if you guys leave, I won't kill you. I won't track you down to murder you. And you guys are like, no.
No.
And it turns out the white dragon was a spellcaster.
Yes.
And so he was invisible in front of you guys and said boo, and then just frost breath, and then just fucking vanished and left.
Yeah, I remember running around inside that guy's, was it a keep? A dungeon, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
And we ended up, between the kobold traps and everything, we had taken quite a beating. We ended up finding a room and barricading it for everything we could to take a rest.
Yes.
And then that rest got interrupted, so Churchill fought naked.
Yeah. It ended in you guys fighting the ice dragon in his little lair spot, and he used he had a servant who was a lizard folk, a shadow dragon sorcerer lizard folk, who summoned wraiths to fight you guys while you were fighting the dragon, who was a spellcaster.
Yeah, man, what is it with you and throwing us against dragons and powerful, annoying minions? Like, seriously.
If you're on my world, dragons are rare in my world. So I don't get to use dragons a lot, so you know. But yeah, all this is being in Faerun, so it's not even on my world.
Yeah.
So I'm going into the world
quite
building.
The adventure so far.
Oh yeah. It's just a fun bit. Because I remember we had like a cliffhanger of like, there's an undead army of things coming here. You guys killed it all, and it's like, someone is trying to kill you
Churchill
guys.
is currently scuffling with another lord who apparently in uh uses undead armies, and that's kind of where we last left off Churchill.
Oh yeah, it's D&D has brought so many stories together, and it's allowed me to build so many things. It's just so fun to actually talk about it and just ramble on.
Yep.
That's what this entire conversation is. I mean, we're gonna go play some D&D later.
Mm-hmm.
Which reminds me, no one gets any context. Are we gonna play Churchill or are we gonna play James? Because it's just a thought we needed to do. James is a great one. James is on my world, and that's another event.
I miss Kibble. On the polar opposite side of Churchill, I played a kobold rogue named Kibble, and he died twice.
Yeah.
Died, got resurrected, immediately got died.
Oh, we got.
We'll
we'll end right after I tell this gelatinous cube story. I stole a gelatinous cube trap. So I say I don't run traps that often. I usually run 1 or 2 traps every campaign. So if we start a new campaign, you can bet there's going to be a trap somewhere. So, Kibble, this level 1 or 2 kobold.
Level 2 kobold rogue.
Level 2 kobold rogue was in a... So, it's dark in this dungeon. Alright, you guys see a floating skeleton approaching you guys. And you're like, oh, its hand is outstretched, pointing towards you, and its other hand is close to its chest, as it looks like it's floating towards you guys, off the ground a few inches. And you're like, all right, go attack that while I open this door.
Yeah, Kibble rushed to attack it to protect his friends.
Yep, and slammed straight first into a gelatinous cube. So basically ran straight into Jello, and it just absorbed him.
And for those who don't know, when a gelatinous cube kills you, if you're inside it,
your body is just acid. It's in acid. Yeah.
Meaning Kibble can't be revived with anything short of a wish.
A true resurrection, technically. But that requires the bones. But yeah.
So the Kibble was fun.
Yeah. That is all we have to talk about. I don't know how to end off in this, but just say thank you for coming to talk. And
no problem. I love reminiscing Churchill.
Oh yeah.
It's he's last. It's 2016. That's when Churchill was first created. I'm reborn into this new, much more well realized
characters
version.
that are that long living characters, but
yeah, that's where we ended. All right.
All right.
Yeah.